Hey, my name is Marcel, and today I'm going to be talking about improving mental health support for student pilots at UNO. I'm going to be addressing the counseling services at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. The silent struggle mental health challenges for student pilots. As a professional flight student, I have first seen how combinations of stage checks, long hours, regulations, FFA regulations, and how academic demands can take its toll on the students' mental health. Many student pilots also face financial strain from the high cost of training, which is from instructor hours, stage checks, and such, which adds another layer of stress. Also, the pressure to succeed while meeting rigorous safety standards can lead to burnout, anxiety, and depression. Yet, many students hesitate to seek help, a fear that disclosing mental health concerns could jeopardize their ability to fly. Some of the challenges faced by student pilots: stage checks, long hours, FFA regulations that create constant pressure, academic demands, which that adds to an already full schedule, as they're also college students too, high cost of training, pressure to meet safety standards, uh, and avoiding help. So these are the three main pressures that I find for flight training. Structured training, flight schedule, classes, late night study, all that creates fatigue. Financial burden, you know, student pilots incur over $65,000 in training costs, which is addition to the tuition and FAA regulations. Fear of losing medical certifications prevents seeking help. So many avoid help to protect their medical certificate. To go more into detail, in UNO's 141 program, flight training follows a rigorous schedule that leaves little room for flexibility or recovery. Many students start their day off before sunrise, doing weather checks, pre-checks, and then they go flying after that for a couple hours, and then it's followed by a debrief on how they did, what they did wrong, what they did right. After that, usually students will head to class, labs, and then by the time they're done with that, they're usually at work or late night studying. This is a constant cycle of, early flights, academic demands, and high cognitive workloads, memorizing procedures, reviewing regulations, and practicing radio calls. This can often lead to, chronic fatigue. Weather delays, limited aircraft availability, aircraft going down, and the strict stage check requirements can also create backlogs, forcing students to compress multiple lessons into fewer days. As a result, sleep deprivation builds, decision making suffers, and even small mistakes can add to extra costs or delay progress. This creates stress for the students already in immense pressure. Next thing we're going to talk about the financial costs. So the financial cost of being a student pilot at UNO is a major source of stress, with training expenses often exceeding 65,000. The amount covers, aircraft rental, fuel, instructor fees, check rides, ground school, and other costs on top of the standard university tuition. And so even small setbacks can quickly become expensive. A failed stage check or check ride can add another $1,000, $800 in fees. Because flight training is tied to strict progression requirements, as you need certain licenses to move on to the next one. These extra costs are often unavoidable and must be paid before the student can continue. For many, this means relying on student loans, working a lot of hours, or taking on debt, which adds a lot of stress. The last one is FFA regulations and mental health. FFA regulations requires pilot, including student pilots, to maintain a valid medical certificate to fly. The application process includes questions about mental health, documentations, and different other sources. Because admitting to anxiety, depression, or other conditions can suspend your certificate, many students avoid seeking professional help, which often worsens mental health challenges in silence. And so, from my finding, why current support isn't enough is uh, mental health concerns are rising among student pilots, and UNO's counseling services are not aviation specific, so they don't understand where student pilots are coming from. And the survey done from students is that 74% feel overwhelmed weekly, 61% avoid mental health support due to FFA fears, and only 12% believe counselors understand pilot pressures. Ways we can strengthen mental health support at UNO. One thing that I really like is peer support. This allows students to connect with others who truly understand the unique demand of flight training. Unlike traditional counseling, peer support offers a safe space to share struggles without fear of judgment or misunderstanding. This allows the peers to understand where the student pilot is coming from, since they've already gone through training, or at least know what it's like to be a student pilot. Examples of programs that have worked is the University of North Dakota's Uplift Peer Support Program. Within one semester, 70% of participants reported feeling less alone, and students in the program were 45%, 50-ish, almost, more likely to remain in training without needing time off. Another thing that we can do is specialize on-campus counseling. UNO can address this mental health gap for student pilots by combining specialized counseling, peer support, and outside partnerships. Firstly, training at least one campus counselor in FFA medical regulations and aviation regulated stress can ensure students have access to informed guidance, without the stress of misinterpretation. Secondly, launching a peer support program led by a trained upperclassman can provide incoming students with relatable mentors who understand the pressures of Part 141 training. And thirdly, which is probably my favorite, is building partnerships with local clinics that have experience working with pilots who offer students safe off-campus resources for confidential care. Dr. Pereira is a person that gives out medical certificates, and he told us that his main goal isn't to limit you from flying, is to safely get you to fly. And so his goal isn't to take away your certificate. He wants to help you, and so that's probably why this is one of my favorite methods to strengthening mental health. And so between these three big steps together, these steps will create multiple pathways for students to seek help, reduce the stigma, increases trust, and ensure that pilots are mentally prepared to meet the demands of flight training safely and successfully. And this was my presentation. Thank you.